Yeah, it does.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Shop TED Talk podcast. And as usual, we've got Frank with me.
You-
Frank, what's
And
introduce our guest here today?
so today we have someone quite special to me. This is Caleb, Caleb Wall. Caleb was my apprentice, I don't know how many years ago. Um, and
Probably about like 10 years ago now.
It's
10
something
years.
like that. But when Caleb first came looking for a job, I looked at this kid and I'm like, it's not going to make it. I think that he'd be better off in the front office. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. And he's really showed up, really proved himself. So, Caleb,
I think
welcome to
10
the
years,
show.
thanks, Frank. I think 10 years ago, you probably would have been right. 10 years ago, I probably would have been a little bit better off in the front office working behind the desk. But,
Yep. Well,
I had some good people throughout my career to help me. So,
yeah, yeah. It was a good ride. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we worked together for quite a few years, and Caleb was part of in Ontario. Here we have a program called the OEA program, Ontario Youth Early Education, or something. I don't forget what it's called.
Ontario Young Apprenticeship Program.
Yeah,
yep.
so whatever that. Yeah, so basically that puts a 12 automotive student and puts them into a co-op program, and which puts them into their first year apprenticeship. So basically, by the time that they're done grade 12, they're done their first year apprenticeship. So they do half the semester at Fanshawe College and the other half at their placement. And so it works out really well. It really helps fast track, especially people as good as Caleb, right?
That's
So
great.
other kids that they have trouble. They had trouble filling spots because they just didn't have enough really good people to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, I think the year that I was going to do it, they literally, if there would have been one less student in the class, they wouldn't have run it
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
for the automotive program anyway.
Yep. Yeah, I remember something like that because it was. I think it was kind of hairy whether you were going to go or not, but I'm really glad it worked out because it really fast tracked you into this, and I think you've done quite well. So, Caleb, if you want to just kind of shoot off and say what you're up to these days and what you're doing, if say what you can and introduce yourself,
Oh, I lost
and we'll just
connection to
chat
the
from there.
server here, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, everyone's still there?
No,
I'm here.
rejoin.
Caleb?
He's
No.
looking a little dumbfounded.
What's going on here?
We had a little technical difficulties there, but that's okay. Caleb's
Hey,
back.
back.
Caleb, tell us a bit
No internet.
about yourself, kind of where you started from, where you are, and what you're up to
All
these
right.
days.
So currently, I work for a company here in London, Ontario called General Dynamic, and I'm just basically like a mechanic there. They are a company that basically produces like big military vehicles. So yeah, I basically travel all over Canada
Nice.
right now, and I just kind of service and fix these military vehicles. Um, I've only been doing it for about a year now. It's been
Okay.
pretty good. Before there, I worked for Oxford. Like I worked at the dealership for Oxford
Beauty. That's
Dodge. I
nice.
was there for 3 years, and I got my master tech there. Um, and then I think I was working in St. Thomas a little
Should be
bit
something like
before
that.
that. I got my license in 2022, if I remember correctly. I was pretty young when I got it. Yeah, I definitely bounced around quite a bit after I left Weebs. So obviously, Weebs Wheels, working with Frank, was like the first shop that I ever worked
I
at.
hear that a lot, but
And I feel like Frank, after
yeah,
you left, it definitely
I was
wasn't the
thinking about that
same.
the other day. I couldn't remember if you left before I did or after I did, but I think you left shortly after I did.
Uh, no, I remember after you left, Pete didn't. I felt like he didn't know what to do with me. And it was like as soon as you left, no word of a lie, it was like I got pulled out of the shop and it was like, hey, I need the grass cut over here or I need the cars washed over here. So I basically it
Yeah.
was frustrating for me because I feel like you
Yeah.
left and I basically stopped getting any opportunity to like continue working on vehicles.
What it,
Um, and then from there I went,
yeah,
I
I
think the
think
next
so.
job that
Oh
I
yeah.
worked at was
What I should have done is I should have
in
took you
St.
with me. But the
Thomas,
thing is, I had a nine
Elgin
month
Tire
stint in
Craft, if I
between
remember
when I
correctly.
left there before I opened my shop. And if that 9 months hadn't been there, you would have come with me and you would have been working with me today. But that 9 months kind of kicked me down. Yep.
Uh, yeah,
I think Frank's got a bit of FOMO fear.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
he's missing you
Tirecraft
at his
didn't do
shop
me
right
very
now, man.
good, that's for sure. So I think I only worked. Yeah, I'll say, especially being away from home, right now, it's definitely not easy. There are some days where, I get the opportunity to kind of work on one of my own vehicles, and I miss it sometimes. Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons, I think, to doing what I do. When I was working at Oxford Dodge, I also tried my hand at kind of running my own business as well. Got a little bit of a taste as to what that was like. Um, did it pretty successfully, I think. I was very, very busy between working at the dealership and then also having my business that I was running after hours. It was definitely tough. Um, And then I think I did it pretty successfully for about 2 years, I want to say. And
Oh yeah.
then, yeah, I got too busy. I was starting to travel a little bit more for General Dynamic. And
There's only so much
yeah,
you
as
can
a
do,
one
right? Only so
man
many
Yeah.
hours.
shop, it's kind of
Yeah.
hard
You
to
got to be present there,
continue
right?
to
Just
keep a
that's
business
like me.
open
If I'm
when
not there,
you're
the shop just kind of
out of
comes to a
province.
halt.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it's frustrating when that happens. So you want to, if you're running a business, you want to try and build a business so that it can function if you're not there. But
The whole
apparently, I'm
point of
not quite there yet.
business is having it and building it up in such a way where you don't have to be there anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. I mean, eventually, I
Eventually,
don't mind. I don't mind being in a corner and being like one of those flower pots that just smiles and waves or something like that.
uh,
I'll do that, but
I would love to be a flower pot, just sit there
fly on the wall, right?
and not have to, remember anything, talk to anyone, just
Oh,
observe. That's the
Yeah.
dream.
yeah.
Yeah, self-sustainability is obviously the goal, I think, get it to a point where it can just do its own thing and you can just sit back and collect from the
What's the
hard
culture
work is the
like at
goal.
your,
But
if you can say, what's
yeah,
the
it takes
culture
a
like
little
where you're
while to get
working? Is
there, that's
it
for sure.
pretty friendly? Get along with everyone there? Is it pretty easygoing?
Yeah, oh yeah, for the most part. Yep, oh yeah, it's as stress-free as it can be. It is for the most part. I mean, obviously, working on big, heavy equipment,
Yeah,
and just like the people that we deal with and the customers that we have, very high priority.
yeah,
So you just got to really make sure that you do things once, you do things right. Um, it is a little stressful knowing that if I'm having a bad day or if I'm having an off day and I do a bad job,
yeah.
then I could potentially be putting someone's life in danger in the long run. So you definitely always need to be on your A game. But that doesn't even just apply to the military side of it as well. Like even in just like the regular automotive side, right? Like Frank, all the customers that come in your door day in, day out, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of responsibility, like fixing vehicles for people and doing your best to make sure that everyone,
Yeah, and then
everyone gets the same
yeah, and then
quality of
when you have to
service
fight, and
and
then
that
when you have to
it's a
fight with
good
the
quality
customer
of
to actually
service,
replace their brakes,
it
and you
can be
have to
stressful.
like convince them that they need these brakes. That sucks, man. But you're doing it. Yeah, I mean, really, it's no skin off my back, but I'm doing it here because I'm trying to help you out to keep you safe and trying
Unfortunately,
to get people to understand
that battle,
that.
convincing customers to take care of
Yeah.
their vehicle. I mean, whether they change the brakes or not, I mean, that's not going to affect you, Frank. Unfortunately, it's just going to be their issue down the line when they're counselor sees, and then they're like, "Oh well, this $600 brake job is going to be $1,250 now."
We quoted one today was $2,300.
What
Yeah.
was that? What was that on?
But but I I I
Yeah.
I do see a little bit of a different side to that where
Hmm.
the customer that's coming in the shop that needs these brakes done, they're driving on the same roads that we are. So to an extent, if someone comes in with
Yeah,
unsafe brakes, yeah, obviously we do our best to let them know, hey, like, you're not driving around with safe brakes at all. But I
yeah,
like to
yeah.
think
You're
that
right. Yeah.
to an
We do
extent
think
it
about
does
that too.
affect
Like
us because
whenever
we're
a customer
driving on the
comes
same
in and
roads
they've
as these
got
people.
next to no brakes on there, I mean, I've let customers know the same thing. I'm like, hey, it's not only you on the road, right? You're sharing the road with thousands of other people, and driving is not a privilege. Like you have a license, sure, but it's your duty to take care of your vehicle. I mean, if you're going to be driving around the road next to me and my kids, I mean, that damn thing better be safe.
Hmm.
And if you're going to do what you're doing, I mean, I have like whenever anything comes in, they decline it. I got
Yep,
everything
absolutely.
documented, and I tell them like, look, I got everything documented. I've got pictures, videos, DNA. I got everything. So if you're not doing your breaks, don't come back to me in a few weeks and say I got to get
Yep.
my car towed and say, well, is it going to be the same price? No, it probably won't be the same price. You probably screw something else up.
Hmm.
And the best is when they try doing it in the driveway and they put the pads in backwards and they tow it to
Yep.
you. And I'm hearing some funny noise on my brakes. Well, I mean, is it the same funny noise?
Yeah, right.
No, I had a free Sunday, so I decided to do it myself. I'm like, there you go.
So Caleb, when you're out there, you're not at home right now. Are you working on the military base, or do you have a shop that's civilian and they bring the stuff to you? Oh, really?
No, I am located on military base. So I'm currently working at the Shiloh Canadian Forces base. And I think they have like a couple different they have a lot
All
of
right.
different
Okay.
buildings and stuff out there,
How's
but
the
I'm
weather out there
in
right
working
now?
in one of
You're in Alberta or
the maintenance
Manitoba?
shops out there. So
Oh,
Wow.
okay, so you're not in the new USA yet.
I'm in Brandon, Manitoba right now. No, not yet. Surprisingly, it's been a pretty mild January here, actually. I was expecting it to be quite a bit
Oh,
worse than it
geez.
was. I think next week we're supposed to start getting down a little bit closer to like -30.
Oh,
Uh, and then February,
Damn.
we're
And I
going to
was
start
complaining.
creeping
What was it
closer to
today? It was like
-50 out here.
minus
So it's
five or
going to
six or something like that.
yeah,
But
it's
we
going to
got
get
like a foot
cold.
and a half of snow, so that made it feel pretty cold.
jeez.
Minus 30. Oh my goodness.
-30. Yeah, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving the house.
No.
Oh, we had Yeah, we had what was it? 2 days ago it rained, and then we had a snap freeze overnight.
You get
So
the
then
torch
everything
out
was all
to
covered in
thaw
ice
out your
this
vehicle.
morning. It was a good time getting to work.
God.
So
Do you
Man.
ever get to the point where, like, if it's that cold and you got to bring a
yeah,
vehicle in, do you have to like heat up certain areas of the vehicle to kind of get them started first, or how do you do that at that temperature? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when you're at work, I mean, if it's -30 and
like are
sorry,
you talking like when I'm at work or like
oh,
just like vehicles get stored inside? Everything gets stored inside. So I'm inside in a heated building.
that's
Oh,
nice.
These
so you
things,
might
when they're
have to
not
move it from one
getting
building to another,
run,
but not
they're
like it's
inside
sitting
in a
outside
heated
in a minus
building.
40-degree
So
weather. Yeah.
Man,
And this is minus 40 Celsius for you Americans. Just so you
no, no,
know,
no, no.
that's really cold. I know how to do it when it's above
your
zero.
phone might
You
say
want me to do a
error.
quick conversion to Fahrenheit here?
Jeez,
Jeff from Jaded Mechanic, he'd know this because he's still half American for some reason. I think.
he's pretty good at that.
Yeah, yeah.
apparently
Yeah.
negative 40
That's why I said
Celsius
that.
is
It's
negative
cold.
40 Fahrenheit as well, which I'm
They
having
know
a
what
hard
negative
time
40
believing right
means.
now. But yeah, so I'm a little concerned.
Ooh.
I have a little Ford
Yeah, but it's probably
Bronco
got
for a
zero
rental
16
car out
oil,
here,
so I
and
mean
it does not have a
it's just
block
like water,
heater.
so it's not like that's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
so
016. Oh, God, I don't like it. All these little, I have these little Camrys coming in with
hopefully not.
016. I'm like, what is this stuff?
I haven't seen
Yeah.
any, maybe one, but nothing regular yet with such thin oil.
Oh, we gotta
I did
stock
an
it
oil
now.
I did
I
an
got.
oil change on a diesel today, 1540, and our oil is in a container beside the shop. That's like freaking molasses. I don't know how these engines run in that. Yeah, Duramax. Yeah.
What was that on? Was that a Duramax? Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think the
Yeah,
new
we don't get
Cummins,
too
I
much
think still
diesel
take
work, so
1030,
Oh,
if I'm not
I do
mistaken.
I
not
wish I
start.
got none of it and send it all to Nathan. That's what I'm
Yeah,
going to
no
do from
kidding.
now on. Any repairs, go see Nathan. He loves
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
drive out to Palmerston, go see
Yep.
Nathan.
I don't want any part of it. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you,
Yeah, but
it's not
the
so
diesel
bad
you
once
work
you
on,
you work
I'm
with it a little
assuming big
bit.
heavy equipment like that
It's definitely
is nothing like
dirtier.
these diesels they got crammed in these freaking trucks. Like you got 300 oil coolers on one engine. You've got about 10,000 miles of wire,
No,
and it's like, why? Diesel doesn't need anything just needs compression. That's it.
yeah, but even when I was working at the dealer, like for me, I still preferred working on a 3500
Why?
dually over a
Yeah.
1500
Well, okay. I
7.
mean,
I preferred working on the diesels because at the
Well, at the
dealer
dealer,
it was
you're
more
a
money.
flat rate as well, right?
If you were good
So
at it, it
that's
was more
you're gonna be
money.
jumping on the jobs that are gonna be
It
paying you
paid.
X amount that you can get it done in
Yes. Yeah.
less amount of time, especially too. How was that working? Kind of backtracking a bit, but how was that working flat rate? What was your experience?
Yeah.
That's a very rage bait topic right now in all the forums.
it seems to be.
Uh. Yeah. You know what? It's a double sided coin. I will say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I got to experience working in it. I'm glad I don't work in it anymore. Um, it definitely was really good for me, especially as like a young technician. Kind of,
Yeah,
I'd only been licensed for like maybe 1 or 2 years when I was kind of starting there. So I needed to definitely step up like my
yeah. But if you're
quality of
speeding,
work,
you can pump out work. I
compared
mean,
to
man, you
coming
can make
from
some
like
serious money with
these little ma and
flat
pa
rate.
shops that I had been working at. Um, yeah, and I did I got pretty good. I like to think, I had very, very, very little comebacks. And yeah, I was doing really good for the first year and a half. And then I remember there was quite a bit of politics and stuff that started happening. There was, oh, well, this dealership, in this city is paying this one tech $40 an hour, and I'm only
Oh
getting
wow.
paid $35
Yeah.
an hour. So if the dealer doesn't give me a raise, then I'm gonna, go work for this shop. And then all the techs kind of fronted that. Um, so then the dealership basically got pressured into giving everyone a pretty substantial raise, which the door rate went up. If I'm not mistaken, it was like $189 an hour, uh, which it's too expensive. It
Okay.
was just so expensive for people to afford. That quite a bit of customer pay work stopped coming in, and it really, really slowed
Yeah.
down quite a bit to warranty recall work, which doesn't pay the bills. Um, and that was kind of at the same time that I really kind of felt pressured that I really had to start ramping up my own business as well, just to quite
Yeah.
literally, you're spending 40, 45 hours a week if you're working a half day Saturday in this building. and you're there and you're available, and
Jeez.
some weeks
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
walking
that'll
home
hurt.
with a
So
15
basically,
hour paycheck for
so
the
basically, what
week,
happened is everybody
and
got a raise,
that feels
but then
pretty
the dealer was
defeating.
like, "Fine,
That's
you
pretty
guys got a
defeating
raise.
for
We're raising
sure.
our rates," and now all that work started shutting down. So then everyone got a raise, but then no one was making money.
And
Yeah, in the long run, yeah, no, I made less money
yeah, it
after
was
I
one.
got it was like a 10% raise or something that we got. And no, it was more
That's
than that
that
actually. It was
happens
like
in
a
a city here. Imagine we
25%
talked
raise or
about this a
something like
little bit in
that.
ease about
Um,
uh, if I was to raise my labor rate significantly in a small town like I am,
Yeah.
that's exactly what would happen. The work would just drop off. And now I know that if you keep your really good customers, but
If you
there's got
raise
to
it
be a point,
substantially,
right?
yeah, I can definitely see
Yeah,
that, Frank.
yeah. So I mean, door rates have to go up
Yep.
as inflation happens and stuff like that. But yeah, if I was to jump, $25 an hour right now,
oh,
people would
absolutely.
balk real hard at that, real hard, and then of course stuff would drop off a lot. And yeah, that I mean, in a big city, a lot of places they can get away with it because you've got so many people around that might still come around or just trying out the area and be a
Yep.
couple of customers for a little while. Mhm.
Well, and it wasn't just our dealership in the city that did it either, right? Like it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was
Yeah.
all the other Chrysler dealers in London. They all did the same thing, same rates and everything, just to stay competitive, obviously. Um, but yeah, I remember directly after the door rate went up, I just remember it felt like we got hit with like a brick wall.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
And
really,
it's
whoever
yeah,
started that up
it was
with
definitely a
the raise and
struggle,
everything kind of
not a
screwed
good
everyone
time.
over there for the
but
foreseeable future.
for the dealership to do that, like to all work together to
Yeah,
raise the labor rate across the board. I mean, at least that way, it's not just one place being like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
that's true.
I'm going to raise my rate in gouge," right? Like we did that in our town here. I don't know, maybe a year after we opened shop, and we're like, "Look, the labor rate's just way too low in this town compared to even the towns around us," right? So they say it's coercion, but it wasn't really. We just called the other shops around and said, "Look, what's your labor
yeah,
rate at? This is what we are going to put our labor rate at. We would suggest that maybe you do the same because you're way under labor rate." So it wasn't like we were out there, we wanted to push our labor rate above everyone else. We're just like, look, this is what we're going to raise ours to. Um, why don't we just all stay on the same playing field? Like I always say, I'd rather have somebody come to my shop because they want to come there, not because
Yep.
I'm the cheapest guy.
Yep.
And I don't want
Exactly.
them to come to my shop because I'm the most expensive guy, right? They want to come to me because the service is right.
yeah,
They'll
Whatever the
spend
price
an
is,
extra
the
30,
service
40
is
bucks with you, Frank, because they know
because
that
of the
your
service.
vehicle
Yeah.
is going to be taken care of, and your wife's there to make sure that you're not screwing anything up. I mean, all the usual stuff.
Let me tell you, it is a two-person full-time job to keep me in line. The woman that she puts up with me, I mean, she's got like extra halos in heaven, that's for sure. Because
She may be using Chat GPT just to figure you out, Frank.
oh man, some days I'm telling you, my brain. I said yesterday I forget we were going somewhere, and I was trying to think. I was trying to say something. I was trying to think of something to say, and I don't know. I think my hamster fell off the wheel, and she just laughed and laughed. I'm like, some days I feel like that. I just, it's spinning in there, but nothing's happened, and it's just not going. It's just too much going on. It seems right now. But yeah. So she does a good job of trying to keep me in line, and I do a good job of being miserable half the time because I'm just overwhelmed.
That's okay. I
Anyways,
mean,
I need Caleb to come work for me so that I'm not overwhelmed anymore.
Caleb. I mean, he's got an offer on the
yeah,
table for you, man. Is what it sounds like. He's doing a big remodel there, so I mean, I think there was an executive office you were putting
yeah.
his
It
name on,
sounds
something
like
like
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
we're making gold plated plaques for everybody.
14-karat gold each
Yeah,
letter.
that's it. Yeah,
Well,
we had a customer come in this
I'll
today.
talk to
Like
you
we're
after.
putting a
I'll
new
say
floor in our shop or
I'll
in our
tell you
office,
that.
and he's like, "Wow, you must be really making money if you can put a new floor in the office." And I'm like, "Or maybe it had to be done, and we're doing what we have to do so that we can still have a good office and serve our customers, right?"
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that guy's
it's
getting the drop down
I was gonna
menu
say
when it comes to
laminate
labor
isn't that
rate, and it's just
expensive
gonna
last
go.
time I checked.
yeah, yeah.
That's
New,
exactly
new,
what I would do.
we're gonna add a line on every invoice.
Yeah.
New office labor, new office surcharge. You know, like the hydro company does, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
they have a debt retirement surcharge. That's
Oh,
what we're
I
gonna
do
have.
this. I do that every
New
year.
office surcharge.
We have a flat roof, so the flat roof was like, I don't know, over 20 something grand. I mean, when people ask, "Did you raise your prices?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's roof
Yeah,
tax."
roof.
And
Yeah,
then
I'll have Dave pull that in there. I never thought about that. Never thought about that.
we ended up buying a brand new Corgi. I think it was a tire machine, and we had the tire machine tax. What's it this year? I was like, "Well, we had to buy another trailer
You know,
tax."
when you wow, as
Yep.
funny as that is, but in reality, like in some of the podcasts I've listened to, is the customer is the one that eventually pays for everything, right? Because
They pay
and
every
it's
dollar
it's
for it.
well, yeah, and it's not it's. I mean, that's really what it is. And we're in the
Yeah,
business to service our
absolutely.
customers. We're in the business of servicing their vehicles, and in turn, they end up paying for the business. They end up paying for our employees' wages and all that kind of stuff. And that's the way the world works. It's just like when you go to a grocery store, you spend your money at the grocery store, you're
Yep,
paying for their business, you're paying to employ
employ
their
everyone.
people.
Yeah, that's
That's the way the world
exactly
works.
that's exactly why I was telling you a couple times, Frank. Is whenever someone emotionally discounts a bill that this the brake job comes at $550, and you know what, that's too much. I mean, maybe I'll just drop it down to 450. So I've heard from different coaches, just bring some cash from you from the house instead of taking the $100 off the bill. Just, here you go, Mr. Customer, here's $100.
Yeah.
I want to make
Yeah.
sure that you get a discount.
Yeah. No,
So when
Margarita
you
had like a probably a 15-minute conversation with a customer today that was in a roundabout way fishing to get a better price. And she just adamant be like, look, this is what it is. These are the parts that we have to put on your vehicle. This is what we have to
I
do.
don't want to put junk on your car. If you want
Yeah.
junk, then you can
Well,
go
and that
down
was
the street.
exactly it. It says we just don't offer these cheap parts. We don't. This is the quality that we put on, and that's what it.
Just wait
And
till they hear the Caleb surcharge. I mean, hey,
yeah,
Yeah, it's you know what? It's definitely frustrating. I can really say that, when you're trying to do your customer a solid and say, "Hey, look, like, let's be honest here. You're paying maybe an extra 40, 50
yep,
bucks for a better
hmm
quality part that's going to last you probably twice as long as the slightly cheaper one." And I feel
yeah,
comfortable, like as a technician, I feel more comfortable installing this in
yep,
your vehicle than I do this other part. Like, this is my recommendation, and this is what I'm recommending for a reason, because this is my, you know, Frank, you're 10,
almost 30 by
25
now.
years, like how many years experience you have in the trade, right?
yep,
Like 30 years, that's
yep,
30 years of experience talking, right? And that's a 30-year recommendation, basically, is
yep.
this is me
The
just
labor's
trying
the
to, as a
same. Just
person
choose the
to
correct
another
part.
person, just give you my honest opinion.
Labor doesn't
You
change.
know, I do, yeah, 100%. Like, spend the extra $40, and you know
Yep,
what? It honestly, for myself, when I was doing it, it gave me so much more peace of mind
yep.
when I knew that my customer paid the extra $50 to get a better quality part that came with, an extra
Yeah,
six
we
month
made that
warranty or
decision
whatever,
early
because I
in
knew
our shop
in the
life
long
is
run
that
that was going to be better
I
for
wasn't going to
them.
put on like what they call white box suspension parts. I wouldn't do it. And so if it's a steering suspension
Yes.
part,
Yeah.
it's a premium part or it's not. Like
Yeah.
I just won't even do it. And
We start with
if
mid
you
grade, and if they want to up, or mid
yeah
grade to premium, and like if they want to get even, there's ultra premium. We give them the option,
yeah
but I don't even, like, I can get $11 or $18 brake pads, but what's the point? I don't even
Yeah.
give them the option because you install it on that person's car. They're going to
Yeah.
come back after 5, 6 months saying my brakes are making noise. You did a shitty job.
See, and that's
Yeah. Oh, I
That
know.
happens at the
well,
dealer too.
we one
just
dealer.
saying, with
They said,
dealership
"Oh yeah,
quality
just wait.
parts, that
We'll have
happens
to
quite a
order it in."
bit.
What do you mean order it in? And then apparently they had to order some parts from ABC. It was a Dodge dealer in Tiltonburg. They had to order some parts from ABC. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I don't think it's a big
Yep.
secret, but
yeah,
yeah, like at Oxford Dodge, they had an account with APC, and like if the
yeah,
customer, they, obviously they were supposed to sell, oh, we're Mopar, you're supposed to sell the white and blue box parts, but when they're as expensive as they are, sometimes you do have to go aftermarket. And
Oh yeah.
even Oxford Dodge knew that they had to have that account open just
hmm
as a backup option, just so that
Yeah.
they would
What
yeah,
I
be
gotta
able
understand
to
is
still,
half these
make sales
dealerships
to
don't
a
even
little bit of
have
a
half the
bigger
damn parts in
variety
stock, like
client,
rotors and
mhm,
pads. I
basically.
mean,
yeah. It's a real problem.
really, like
Yeah.
it's your bread and butter, low hanging fruit, easiest job there
Well, it's
is,
horrible.
and you gotta order the rotors overnight. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then, like a lot of dealerships, they'll offer something like, hey, if you come in, you pay $30 for a
Yeah.
brake inspection, but if you do the brake
Yep.
inspection and you need brakes and you do them at the same time, we'll waive that $30 fee. So as a technician, I would get paid point 0.3 to do a quick little brake inspection. But if I have to put the wheels on this
Hmm.
vehicle and move it outside overnight and bring it back inside the next day and put it on my hoist for a second time
Yeah.
and raise it and now do brakes, and you're knocking that point 0.3, like that's only 15 minutes. I've now spent more than 15 minutes getting this car in the first place, pulling it in, ripping wheels off and looking, putting it back together, moving it, and then waiting
You know,
another
Caleb,
day and then moving it a
I'm
second
not.
time,
I don't
lifting it
know
and
exactly how the
removing
workings
the
of
wheels,
the big
right?
dealerships work, but can you imagine if the owner of the dealership had like a reserve fund and they told the service advisor or the service manager, like, look, there's X amount of dollars in this fund. If you need to take care of your techs and you need to pay them an extra point 0.3 or point 0.5, take it from this fund, make the tech happy, make sure they don't go somewhere else, buy them frickin' pizzas, buy them lunch, tell them after work, why don't you guys go out go karting? I don't care. Keep them happy and keep them there. I mean, that extra money that you're going to put in that fund to help the techs, help the staff, make everyone happy, the ROI on that, you're going to make that back 50 times.
Yeah, yeah,
But
definitely.
but I don't think they think like this.
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. When I was working at the dealership, it's not always the big things, like as a flat rate technician, when you take that job at the dealership, you kind of know you're taking a bit of a gamble with the flat rate world. But it's not always just the hours and the money. It's, there's some things like, boot allowances and benefits and other things to consider, right? But, like I remember at
Oh
Oxford,
yeah.
the summers would get so hot in the shop, and they had air
Hmm.
conditioning units installed in the shop, but the owner would not let us turn them on. And us as techs were always furious because we're sitting here going, we could be working and producing more right now. We could be producing more if these air conditioners were on, because we wouldn't be
AC
Yeah,
with no
uncomfortable
AC.
and sweating our bags
yeah,
off and taking a heat break every 5 minutes.
that's
And
crazy.
and then they sell brand new cars. The damn thing comes
Yeah.
with AC, but they won't let you have AC.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's the type of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. Like, and it's just whatever they can do to save a dollar,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And I
we
mean,
have
it's
a
not,
dealership in Kitchener, I believe, as
Oxford
well.
Dodge is owned by the Bennett Automotive Group, which owns Bennett Fleet Rentals Alpha Maserati there in London. Like, you know what I
That's why
mean?
I think
So
if I
there's
own a
all
big
these
dealership, I'd
businesses
probably go
that
broke
it's
because I
all
give all the
about
money
pinching
away.
pennies where you can, right?
Yeah, just take it out of your own pocket the way you're supposed to. Yeah, that's what happens when you get into something that's too big and it just becomes a whole political
Yeah.
fiasco.
And don't get me wrong,
Instead
there's
of
a lot of big dealerships that do it right,
really well, yeah,
and I don't want to throw any shade on dealerships or the techs that work there. I mean, they're
Yep.
yeah,
working
that's
their
why
butts
Absolutely.
off,
Yep.
and hopefully, wherever they're working, they just get taken care of, right? That's the
yeah,
main thing. That from what I hear from the industry, it depends on the place you're at, and sometimes, well, I wouldn't say sometimes, a lot of the times, techs are taking even a pay cut to go to a certain dealership where they know they're going to get the hours, they know they're going to get taken care of, and the service manager, even the owner, cares that they're there. They're not just, Caleb 00637489. And when Caleb goes, oh well, we just delete that line. Bob's here now, so Bob takes over this
Yeah.
spot, and let's just get him to turn a wrench and get 30, 40 hours out of him as cheap as possible.
Yeah. Like even for me, like when I went from working for Oxford Dodge to General Dynamic, it
that's pretty
was like
significant.
a seven, almost $8 an hour pay cut. But I knew taking this job that I was going to have a consistent, work schedule when I'm home in London anyway. I have a consistent work schedule. Like there's good benefits. There's opportunity for a little bit of overtime if I want it, right? So if I was really stressing about that lost income, I'd work a Saturday morning and make up for that, right? But having that peace of mind, and that's something that we mentioned to the people at the dealership, like, hey, like, can you guys give us some type of hour guarantee? Like, we're not asking you to guarantee us 40 hours a week, but like, can you give us a 30-hour a week
Yeah,
guarantee?
seriously.
At least that way I feel like I'll still kind of be able to pay my bills if there's no work coming in the door, or if I'm having a little bit of a rough week, you know what I mean? And I have to
Yep,
call in sick for a day or two. I feel like I have some sort of cushion that I can fall back on. And now when I do come back, I'm not going
yep.
to be stressed and worked up and feel like I have all this lost time to make up for now. And that's such a slippery slope too, is you feel like you need to make up for lost time.
That's where
Now
mistakes
you're
happen, right?
rushing
Because you're just
and
trying to
just trying to
crank stuff
crank as
out,
much
and
out as you can and
you think
make up.
about you're sitting there
Make
working, and
mistakes.
you're like, I've only got
100%.
15 hours this week. I mean, what does
100%.
that do to your mental health? I mean, what's the $6 or $8 that you're losing? I say losing very loosely to go to the next place,
Oh, it's
and
horrible
you're
for
probably
you.
in a better headspace than
Yeah.
you would have been making $10 or $12 more an hour there. But at least you can relax. You know that check's coming in on Friday is going to be around this much, and if you need to make more, then work a little bit of a Saturday, and it is what it is. But you know,
Yep.
it's all about culture. If you're at a flat rate place and the culture is fantastic, everyone works together, they give everyone a hand, and hours are plentiful. I mean, that's great. But if hours are stretched, the pay is not there, the stress is there, it ain't worth it.
Yeah,
You have to take care of number one, man.
I never got a chance to work flat rate. I always worked what you said before, Caleb,
Yeah.
in a mom and
Yeah.
pop shop. Um, I went basically two used car dealerships is what I worked at, and I didn't know anything different. Like I've never experienced a culture where
Yep.
it's always been pretty laid back. Um, I mean, it got a little bit stressful at the end there. It was getting pretty hectic for me, but I can't imagine working in a place like that where I would go to the boss and say, "Look, we really need to do this,"
Yeah,
and they'd just be like, "No, man, it just never happened." And I'm like,
because there's
so
no skin off their back, right, Frank? They can just
and
say
it
no
was
if they
right.
want to, and it's like whatever.
And so that's why I've always decided to run my shop in a way. Like I often ask my apprentice, I'm like, "Is there
Yeah.
anything
But
that
Frank,
you can see that we should do differently? Is there
Yeah.
something that we can change to make something better, to make something more efficient, and anything like that.
That shows that you're trying to be a leader, Frank. Like
Well, I'm trying to be.
that's the right thing to do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Frank, I honestly don't think it's a bad thing that you haven't worked at a dealership. Um, the mom and pop shop thing is nice. I'm happy that I got to do my apprenticeship that way, where, it was
Yeah.
like you kind of have to have a pretty good
Well, all the
general
vehicles in the world, right, come to
understanding
you
of
instead of just one
everything
brand, right?
in order to kind of be successful. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like definitely, working at the dealership is very much you pick one thing and you hone in on it and you get really good at it.
Yeah.
So, like when I was
I
working
Yeah.
at the
mean, you get used
dealership,
to
I
pattern
really
failure,
enjoyed
right?
getting into the
When you're at the
electrical and the
dealer as well.
diesel
So something comes in with
vehicles.
on the ticket that's something you've seen 3,000 times.
Yeah,
You know that you're going to go exactly to this one spot in the door jamb, and I bet you there's a broken wire right there because that's exactly what it was with the other 3,000 Dodge Grand Caravans.
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not a
100%.
repetitive
Yeah, it
guy.
gets I'll
I
say
get
it gets a
bored with
little bit more
repetitiveness for
repetitive
sure.
for sure.
Frank's like the
Even
challenges.
just the repetitive seasons that we're having, and I'm like, I'm tired of this. So
He
that's why I
wants
go out
Yeah.
and
stuff
go on
that
vacation.
other people can't fix. Get him towed over to Frank. Frank sends it out in like 9 minutes. That's done.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I don't. If I had 9 minutes to spare, I might, but I don't right
Yeah.
now.
Well, if it's a new vehicle, man, I mean,
Mhm.
anything past
Oh yeah.
what, like 2020, it's got at least probably 20 different computers on board. Like the diagnostics right now on new vehicles is getting it's pretty significant the
There's
amount of
so many
knowledge that you need to
monitors, like
have
it's
like to
insane.
actually be
And I
like
mean, you've
good
got
at like
lane
diagnostics
departure.
on
You got
these
this
new
camera, this
vehicles.
camera, this camera, this camera, and
Yeah,
if you replace something or like you replace a windshield now, you have to get it recalibrated.
Yeah,
And if you don't have ADAS, which very few in my area have ADAS,
yeah.
then I mean, you're gonna go to the dealer, you're gonna go to a place that has it, and it's not cheap to get done. And again, it shouldn't be cheap either because the investment for that
yeah, it's a
actual
pretty
product,
hefty investment to have that equipment for sure.
it's massive. So the person that has it's gonna charge you what they got to charge you.
It's what? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's what, like
It's way up
It,
there.
it,
I
yeah,
don't know the
hundred
exact
thousand
amount
dollars
just
or
because I
something
never
like that
inquired
for
on it
like a
because it was never
good.
an option, but it's upwards of 50 to 80,000. I know for sure.
it,
So I
yeah.
mean, you know, you're gonna be charging 500-600 bucks at least to get a vehicle set up
Yeah,
and do what you got to do to program the sensors.
Well, I've thought about the same thing as even doing just alignments. I know we talked about that in the past about
yeah,
having an alignment rack, and
yeah,
I'm like, I mean, I don't do that many alignments. Like we probably ship out 5 alignments a month right now. It's not that many, right?
If you had a machine, you'd do it, Frank. Trust me.
Well, and that might be. I might just do a lot more.
it's
Like,
not
okay,
worth it.
we slap a tie rod on,
I'm gonna,
and now we charge for an alignment or something like that. Probably would if I had time for it, right?
But
But then if I had to
but
pay
you
and
got to
tech
make
and stuff like
time.
that, then I'd have to, right?
Oh yeah.
But it's that investment isn't worth it
so
at this point. Yeah,
alignment, yeah, alignment machines I feel like are always a gamble too, right? Because alignments are one of those things where if you don't know how to do a proper alignment, then you're gonna have a
Yep.
very, very tough time
yeah,
Set the
that's
tone
doing
to
a
go,
that's
good
right?
key.
alignment
The
and
last thing
getting
you
that
want
thing
is
to
a
drive
crooked.
straight down the road with the steering wheel straight. But then, especially,
Yeah.
yeah, especially
Oh
because
yeah.
we're
Hmm.
in, you know, Ontario, or you guys are in Ontario right now. Salt, that's another thing. Like,
We're using a lot right now.
you're gonna start using your torches significantly more. Like, it's like, if the vehicle's yeah, like if the vehicle's basically 3, 4 years old or
Yep.
Yeah,
older, and you need to make a toe jam nut adjustment, you're basically breaking the torches out and just kind of hoping for the best at that point, which And then do you charge? And that's the thing. Do you charge extra if I have to get the torches out
I
during an
don't, but
alignment? Do you
I'm
include
actually
that in a
raising my
standard align? Like,
prices
you
on
know
my
what I
alignment.
mean?
We
There's all these
charge for like a front
variables that,
wheel, most vehicles, as long as it's not like a Tesla or something, we charge 129,
Just
right?
a
And the
toe. It's
129,
basically a toe adjustment, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And if it needs any major
that's
adjustments, then
reasonable.
I would just, let the customer know it's going to be X amount of dollars
Yeah. Yep.
to do it. Like if it's really seized, and again, if it's really seized, then I'm selling the guy a tie rod. Like I'm gonna tell him, I'm not gonna sit there and heat this up to the temperature of freaking Arizona. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna
Fair
happen.
enough. Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
because
buy
now
your
you're
$80 tie
changing the
rod,
metal
and
machine.
away she goes.
Yep.
Yeah. See, that's good though. I feel like, because honestly, anymore, like a lot of vehicles, like I want to say probably like 70, 75% of vehicles on the
Right.
market right now, there is, other than front toe, there is not really another front wheel adjustment. So, these places that are charging, like
Yep.
Dodge Grand Caravan is a perfect example.
What are
Getting
you gonna do in the
charged,
back?
comes into the dealership and they ding them for a four-wheel alignment. It's like, well, that's a solid rear axle with absolutely no adjustment in the back. And,
We got super
you
lucky.
know,
Like I completely
it's
get
basically
Frank
a
what you're
toe,
saying
a
about the
toe and go
investment for the
adjustment on
alignment
those
machine.
things, right?
I got
So,
lucky and I ended up picking up a rack from a shop that closed down. I don't think it's been a while now, but I don't think we spent more than like 6 grand.
Yeah, like if I found something like that, I'd do it
It was
absolutely.
like 6 to 8 grand for the
But
rack, and then the alignment machine. We have an Atlas machine, which is
yeah.
all run Bluetooth. Knock
yeah,
on wood. I bought it when we first moved in for 5 6 years. I think I paid like 2,800
Okay.
3 grand for it.
mhm.
So my total investment was like 11 or 12.
Yeah. See it, and at that, then it's an
Well, it's
easy,
not
and
bad.
it's an
That
easy
for
go, right?
me made sense because I'm like, okay, if I use this for a year and I'm doing a couple
Yeah.
alignments a week or whatever it is, that thing owes me nothing.
hmm
But
Yeah,
if I
I
had
keep
to spend a total of
50
50 to
grand or something like
50
that.
grand on a rack and an alignment machine, Frank,
Yep,
I'm with you. I would be
yep.
like, farming.
hmm And
Or
that's
I'd
where
have
we're
to
at
make the
currently, right?
investment, and then every single car that comes in, you really should get an alignment. When you're putting four tires on, I'd be pushing it a lot more than I even
Well,
do
of course.
now. But
I
now,
know.
I do my best. Like if you're buying 40 tires, I always recommend alignment because I cannot tell if your wheels are straight without putting it on the rack.
Yeah,
But
Oh
yeah. It
yeah,
looks
like
good.
just
and
eyeballing it, you're gonna look at
yeah,
it and you're
and
gonna
also
say,
what I
yeah,
don't
sure.
do is
Like I,
if
I
somebody
can't tell
calls
if
in,
it's
hey, want to
half
get an
a
alignment done?
millimeter out of spec.
I
You know what
won't
I
do
mean?
it without checking the front end on the
Oh,
on the lift. So I charge a half
you have to.
hour.
Yeah.
I charge a half hour, put the vehicle up, check
Oh,
the front
absolutely.
end
Yeah.
before I bring it over
Yeah.
to the rack. Because if I put that up and his front end is screwed, I'm going to tell him you still owe 129 or whatever it is for the alignment because I put it up and set it up. They're going to say, well, you didn't do the alignment. I'm not paying that. And then that becomes friction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get rid of that whole argument. I'm like, I'm checking your car first. Because if your
Mhm.
front end's screwed, you're going to know for 65 or 70 bucks as compared to
Yeah.
129 or 149 or whatever it is. But now, and if they say, oh, I've had it checked, I'm like, well, we haven't checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because a brother's uncle's son's
Yeah.
stepson that's
I
signed
hate when they
over
say that,
in the
man. Like
will
I
to this
hate when
other
they pull that
person
card.
and whatever has checked the vehicle in the driveway at Tim Hortons. It doesn't work that way.
I had a customer in this week. They're like, "Oh, well, I already scanned it, and it had a code,
So
and
go and
it
test
just
the
needs
car
it,
yourself.
and it just needs an oxygen sensor. Can you just fix it?"
You tell
And
them
we
to tell
bring
them to
it.
breathe into the sensor. There's your
Well,
oxygen.
it wasn't even an oxygen sensor. It was bleed up, unable to bleed up. It was a
Yeah.
Ford, unable to bleed up, and I'm like, okay,
It
well,
means bleeding your head dry, Frank.
it could be a multiple of things, but it's definitely
Bleeding
not
up.
an oxygen sensor. So let's actually diagnose this and fix it properly. And it ended up being a purge valve.
Yeah.
And he's like, I did kind of think it might be a purge valve. I'm like,
Yeah, you should just change
yeah,
both
I mean, you could
sensors.
put it on there. You get lucky and fix it, but
Yeah, hey, you know what? I always change
yeah.
my purge valve
No,
when I'm
when
doing a
people come
standard
and they say, "Oh, I've
oxygen
already read it with my
sensor
code reader,"
replacement.
that's
No, that's
fine.
pretty typical,
But you know,
guys.
your typical code reader doesn't read all of the codes. Like they read your generic codes, do you whatever, and it's fine to do that. But
No, no, no.
yeah, no, but it's
Yeah, it
when it
gets you
comes
your
in the
E
shop, it
codes,
needs
which
a
is
proper
good. Gives you
diagnostic.
a
Okay, we're going to
general
hook our
idea of
stencil.
what's
We're going to
going
spend some
on,
time. We're
but
going
it
to research
doesn't.
what these codes actually mean,
Yeah, but Frank, that should be
and
free,
you
right?
know,
You should be checking
Absolutely.
the car for free.
it should be free. It should. I don't need to eat today.
No.
No.
You told me you have some peanut butter at home. That's all you need. Like peanut
No,
butter, a spoon, maybe a
absolutely
cracker or
not.
two a week, you're
Speaking of
fine.
that, I'm gonna go grab a drink real
Well,
quick.
cheese and crackers, or I guess the heritage that I came from. It was beans and crackers. That was the thing that we always grew up on.
Yeah, because
My
when we charge 179 or 169 for a diagnostic, I mean that's why we can all afford boats, right? We're all driving around in boats to work every day.
That's one thing I will never buy is a boat. I'll maybe be convinced myself to buy a Harley, but probably
No,
not
you
even.
gotta find a friend that has a boat,
Yeah,
and then you
that's
go on their
that's
boat.
that's the best. That's the best boat to have is a friend with a boat. That's not the friend, the boat.
Yeah.
My my
Yeah,
grandfather owns a
everything
boat,
in
I've heard
and he
that
between is
from
a
told
many
me
penny.
that
people.
the best 2 days of
Yeah.
owning a boat are the day you buy it and the day you
I owned
sell
a
it.
boat once, and it was about the same way because it sat in my
Yes,
backyard,
yeah,
and I'm
that's
like,
what I've
I got to
heard.
work on that
So
thing. I got to work on that thing. I got to go work on that thing. And finally, I sold it, and I'm like, I don't got to work on that thing anymore. All right, let's go. And it
It's a
never
good
went in the
feeling,
water. It never went in the water. I don't know if it ever did after that, but I never put it in the water.
yeah,
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 my cousin had a boat. We did a lot of fishing. Now he's moved away. Pete,
that's
if you're
okay.
listening, it's not cool. Anyways, so I don't get to go. Yeah, yeah. Those pictures pop
We
up in
used to
my
do a lot
memory
of
every
fishing,
once in a
Frank. You
while
remember
of
that?
holding these tiny little
Yeah, we used to
fish
do quite a bit.
down by the pier. Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Frank. Did I ever tell you I used to live in Texas?
yeah, you said that.
yeah,
Yeah.
those were good days.
So I
Back in
remember
the
my
good old
dad and
days,
I,
eh?
with my mom and sister with us as well, we drove to South Padre Island. Okay, and Dad had the crazy idea at like 10 o'clock at night. He's like, "Yeah, we should go fishing." I'm like, "We've never fished in our lives." He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out." So we went there to the pier. I'm pretty sure Dad bought a fishing pole or something from Walmart, like on the way. We show up there, and we went to the pier, and there's a bunch of people fishing. And Dad found one guy. He's like, "Hey, we want to fish." He's like, "Okay, well, here you go. This is what you do." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna pay you. You teach us so we don't look completely ridiculous, right?" And
You're not looking stupid handing the guy
yeah,
money. You teach me how to fish.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Teach a man to
exactly.
fish for a day.
Because we didn't know what the hell we're doing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty. It's not that complicated, but anyways, I was really young, and Dad was like, "Let's figure this out." So apparently, in that area we were in, they were big for catching eels.
Oh,
So the guy said, "Here, well, here you go. I'm going to set up your rod. Every eel you catch, I'll take it and I'll give you $20." I'm like, was it 10 or 20? It was a long time ago. Maybe it was $5 or $10. Anyway, we caught like 15
Sweet.
eels or something.
wow.
I don't know what the hell he was doing with them. Whatever. But
Eel
I
soup.
know we walked out with
Wow.
like $150 by the time we were done. And
You got your
that's
return on investment.
that was my experience of fishing like 20 some odd 25
That's a good
years
day's
ago.
fishing
Fishing
right
for
there.
eel. I've never heard of that before.
I don't know. This is like that long ago. I don't know if he had some restaurant he's selling them to. I don't know.
Probably.
It could be
I
something
don't
like
know.
that.
That might have been it. Yeah, maybe.
How
We've
how
thought about
often
it.
That is something
how
I
often
could
are you
never
back in
do.
town?
Own a restaurant, I could
back in
never
this
do
area.
that.
Because you said that you were back once in a while. So
Uh,
is it like once in a while is like
oh,
once in a
okay. That's a
year
bit of
or
a tricky question. Uh, so I think for
9 hours?
the year 2026, I
Wow.
think I'm supposed to be home for seven months this year.
Oh wow.
So I'm probably gonna be I supposed to be gone for 5 months this year. So right now I'm supposed to be out here basically until end of
Do you
March,
have
beginning of
family out
April,
in
and
Ontario or?
then yeah, we'll kind of see how the summer goes. So
Okay.
I have yeah, actually I have an aunt and uncle that live
So
here in
Ontario is where the
Manitoba,
heart is basically.
and the rest of my family is back home, like in Ontario. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, it's where my fiance is, and we have two dogs and a cat. So yeah, the
Yeah.
traveling
Yeah,
is
that's
definitely
definitely
not.
tough.
It's not
No, I
easy,
know.
It's
especially
also
on
tough the other way
relationships, right?
around with my wife and I. We're together like
You know,
almost 24/7,
when
and that has its challenges just as well as being apart.
Long distance ain't easy, man.
Yeah,
yeah, I could. Yeah, no, it's especially for my
Oh, beauty.
fiance
Okay.
Courtney, it's she just recently got a job working at the St. Joseph's Hospital. So it was like her first
Oh
day
man.
was the first day that I was basically like leaving, like to go to Manitoba again. So it's been quite a bit for her. Like I feel pretty bad for her right now, having to deal with all
Yeah.
the responsibilities of our home life,
Big.
and
Yeah.
then on
You
top of
go
that,
ahead. Sorry, what
trying
was it?
to learn a new job. And I basically I won't be I won't be home to basically support her at all. For a good 3 months. So like her whole probation period, she's got to worry about the stress of everything
It
at
yeah,
also
but
shows how
home
she's
and
strong your relationship
trying to
is
do a
too,
good
man.
enough
So I
job
mean,
that
yeah,
she
kudos to
still
you.
makes it
That's
through
not
the
easy, man.
probation period.
she's
So
a tough girl. She'll pull through. Definitely will.
uh, she is, yeah, she's a tough girl for sure. I think we're still living like we live in an apartment in West London right now. I think when I get home from this trip, I think with her working in the hospital now, it's time for us to probably either look at renting a house or potentially buying.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to
Yeah,
be,
well,
I think
always
we're
onward and
definitely
upward.
going to
That's
have
the
to
whole
do
point in
that.
life,
Just,
right?
I
If
think,
you,
to make our lives a
as
little
long as
bit
you're not
easier
falling
going
back,
forward from
you're going
here.
forward.
So,
You're doing the right thing, and you're on the right track.
I can
yep.
I
Oh,
can
yeah.
I can really relate to kind of what you're going through. I did 4 years of long distance. My wife went to school in
Yep.
England,
Ooh,
so I did. She did pharmacy school out there for 4 years, and
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so
Okay. Yeah. Very
that
long
was that
distance.
was before we just met, and she went to pharmacy school for 4 years, came back, and then engaged and married and yada yada. But I mean, 4 years is not easy, but it really tests a relationship, and
Yep.
it actually made us stronger, I would say. So I mean, if you're able to do it, it's not easy, man. But that's great.
Yep. I will say it. Yeah. Definitely not everyone can do it. I think the people, like the couples that can do it and make it out the other side, I definitely
mhm.
think they
It's
come
great.
out the other side kind of feeling a little bit invincible as a couple. You know what I mean? Like definitely, you feel a lot stronger. I've only so like basically since October last
Yep.
year, I've only been home for 3 weeks around the holidays, and then it was like this January 2nd or 3rd or 4th or something. I don't even remember what day, but it was like the first weekend of
Well, you're
January I
working
was
with a
getting flown
purpose,
back
man. There's
out
a reason you're doing what you're doing,
for
and
another three
and
months.
that's very commendable.
So
It's not
yeah,
easy what
it
you do
definitely
as
isn't
well,
easy.
like being away from home, and kudos to you for being able to do that because not everyone can do what you're doing, man. Traveling around and being away from the people you love, right?
It's definitely not easy, and it's definitely not
Yeah.
for everyone. I'll say that. Yeah, hotel room
Yeah.
life is cool. It's cool for like, I want to say maybe the first week,
Yeah, a
and then
fridge,
at that
a
point you're
stove.
Yeah.
just like, okay, I just want like my bed, like I cook I cook in my bathroom, you know what I mean? Like it's just such a weird like, and yeah, it gets to a point where you just kind of lose track of days and you lose track of time, and
Yep.
Yeah,
if you let it
Stay
get
true
to
to
you
yourself,
bad
man.
enough, you can
yeah,
kind of lose a little bit of yourself out here on the road
One
definitely.
too.
thing
So you
I've
definitely
been
need
asking
to
if
kind of stay
Frank will
true to
notice is
yourself.
kind of
Absolutely, yeah.
what's your plan for down the road? I know we're pushing about an hour right now, but what's your like your 5 year plan? What's kind of going through your head? Where do you want to be in about 5 years? Makes
Five
you think. It's
years.
like really.
You know what? That's a really good question. I five. It does. You know what? I will say. Um,
Okay.
I don't know if I want to still be traveling in 5 years. I can say that. Um, I
Yep.
feel like I definitely am still going to be doing a very mechanical job 5 years from now. Yeah, I imagine I'll be probably staying like, like the London, St. Thomas Elmer area.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't foresee myself starting up like a business or anything, if I'm being completely honest. Kind of been there, done that, I feel like. And,
Yep.
between the stress of working for myself
It's
and
a
working
tough
for
go for
someone
sure.
else, I
Yep.
think that
There's a
is a
half
little bit of a
decent shop
turnoff
in Aylmer I know of
for
if you're
me
looking
in that
for a
sense.
place.
Might be for sale.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely it's something that I think about. I will say, especially now that my fiance and I's situation has changed a little bit. Where
Yep.
before she got the job in the hospital and she was working for herself, it was a little bit easier for her when I was gone. I think so anyway. But yeah, so we'll see, right? To be completely honest,
Well,
I
at
don't
the end
really
of the
know what the
day, in
future
my
holds.
opinion, you got to do what's right for
I don't
you
even
and your
really know what the
family.
next 2 months
Yeah,
are going to
it's
hold.
Everything
so hard
else,
to think
all the
about
other
five
noise,
years,
yeah, all the other
5 years
noise
down
is
the
just
road. Yeah,
noise, man.
yeah. If
Absolutely.
somebody would have
Yeah.
asked me that like 7 years ago, be like, "What's your 5 year plan?" I'd have been like, doing what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Now all of a sudden, here I am, 6 years into having my own shop, and I honestly didn't think I'd ever be here. But
And you're
I
sitting on a
personally,
podcast at 10 o'clock at night.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But very happy I did, right? But yeah, like you said, Caleb, it's not for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Um, I never I worked for 20 years and I never thought that I was going to have my own shop. Everyone always said I should, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to. I don't want to. Not now. I wouldn't go back. Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I remember
It
I remember
it
asking
was
you
a
about
flat
it when
no.
I was first starting to apprentice with you. Hey, do you think you're ever going
Yeah,
to
it
own
was a
your own
flat no. I
shop? And
had
you were like,
zero
"Nope,
interest in it
I
whatsoever.
I don't want to
And
do it. I don't want to
yeah,
do
all of a
it."
sudden I woke up one
Like,
morning. I'm like, I'm gonna have to retire one day.
yeah.
And I just realized that wasn't going to happen. What I was doing, and then that's what got the wheels in motion. That and my wife pushing me, like, you got to get on your own. You got to
Everything
get out of
happens
here.
for a reason, right?
Yeah, and so here we are, and very very happy with it.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
and that is like the unfortunate part of
You get
working
comfortable,
sometimes,
complacent.
Yep.
for a small business is it can be hard, you get comfortable and complacent, but like, you think
Yep.
about
Yeah.
like a lot of big companies, they do, like RSP contributions, they just even little stuff like that, right? Like it's hard when, you've worked the same job for 20 years, but
Mhm.
they've done absolutely nothing to kind of consider contribute to your retirement. You know what I mean? When you've been nothing but a huge asset
Yeah.
in contribution to a company, and it's just okay, yeah, here we'll let you go, and just kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Happy
lose that spark and
retirement.
whatever
excitement
happens to
when
you when you're retired
walk into
happens, I
work,
guess,
you
right?
gotta
Not
start
my
looking for
business
something else,
anymore,
man.
but
Something has to drive you to, go in your Ford Bronco to work every day. I mean, you got to make sure that
yeah,
when you're going into work, you feel like being there. If you don't feel like being there, then You got to do some self-discovery and see what makes you happy. Because I mean,
Exactly.
man,
Yep.
life is short. If you like what you do, fine. If it's something you're doing just to pass
Yeah.
time, fine. But in my opinion, strive for something bigger. Strive something better. Reach for the moon. We're only
Always. Yep.
here. We're here today, gone tomorrow. We don't know, man.
Hmm.
But you got to make the
Yeah.
most of it and network with as many people
Yeah.
as you
Life's
can,
short, right?
and then
Networking is key. That's my goals this year is lots of networking because
meet people.
can't do it
Meet
on your own.
people.
Yep. Can't do it on your own.
But
Yep.
Caleb, man, this has been a lot of fun. I don't want to take too much more of your time at minus
Absolutely.
30 degrees in Timbuktu. Frank's
Oh,
gonna
it's
go
all
work
good.
out
I
for a
know it's
few
10
hours
o'clock
now.
for you guys.
Pump the
It's
iron.
only 9 o'clock
Yeah.
for me out
Maybe go
here. I'm an
shovel some
hour
snow. I gotta
behind.
do that
So,
yet.
That's what I meant.
are you? Oh, there you go.
Oh,
We've
perfect. Yeah.
only
What's
got
wrong with
ice out
that?
here. We've got like a good
Jeez.
6 inches
Yep.
of
Especially when you
ice
don't have to deal
covering
with it, eh,
everything
Caleb?
right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing
Heated
wrong with it at all.
heated vehicles in a
Oh
heated
yeah,
garage.
yeah,
If I
you're
didn't have a
absolutely
snowblower, I
right.
don't know
I
what
don't
I'd do with
got a
myself.
parking lot to shovel or anything, so yeah, I don't even pay for the gas. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll run like a good 2, 3 warm up
Well,
cycles
this
on
was a
that
lot of
thing
fun,
before
Kale.
I
Thank
even
you
get
so
in
much
it.
for
It's
joining us,
awesome. It's warm.
and it was
We'll
good to
have to
see
get
you.
you
So,
back on for an like a yearly
Yeah, thanks
update
for
or something
having
to see
me.
what's going
yeah,
on with you and see where you're at and everything. And hopefully we'll be able to do the next one in
Absolutely, yeah.
Ontario
I'd
when you're
love to
not
get back
freezing your butt
on.
off
Yeah,
over
this was a lot
there.
of fun, guys.
All right, Caleb. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully. Awesome. Yeah, thank you.